Welcome back to the Jake Asman Show. Time now for some quick hits.
You gotta move quickly.
There's no time.
Move fast there, come on! And here we go on a Saturday installment of America's favorite sports talk radio segment. It is time for quick hits right here on the Jake Asman Show. Jake Asman with you. Kevin Zepak is producing, and off we go on a very busy quick hit segment. So we start with the Mets. They beat the Padres at Citi Field last night. Jacob deGrom pitched 6 shutout innings, and he managed to lower his ERA to .56. Once again, .56. But that's not the story. No, the story is what Jacob deGrom did with the bat. Take a listen. This was deGrom using his stick to help his own cause.
Snell sets of the letters. The pitch to deGrom. Swinging a liner over short. Base hit. Left center field. McKinney scores. Peraza around third. He scores standing. The throw goes to second. Jacob deGrom is on at first. He's got a 2-run single. The Mets have a 3-0 lead. And Citi Field just might come apart piece by piece.
Howie Rose with the call on Mets radio. So deGrom, it's a 2-run single there. He has more RBIs this year, 5, than he has earned runs allowed, which is 4. That man is at a different level right now. I don't know what else we could say. He's the best player in the sport right now, and he should win both the MVP and the NL Cy Young. Now, it wasn't all good for deGrom, though. He had to leave the game after just 6 innings because he left with what the Mets are calling right flex tendinitis. Now, deGrom, after the game, was asked about his injury, and this is what the future Hall of Famer had to say.
I do a lot of ligament tests on my own. And doing those, knowing what that feels like, it's a total different spot. So, like I said, I'm not too worried about it. And, hopefully it's something that we can treat and run back out there in 5 days.
So he thinks he'll be okay. Now, the Mets also told us this morning that deGrom went for an MRI just to be cautious. And Luis Rojas says, quote, "It came out clean. It was the same diagnosis that we got yesterday." So all in all, it looks like deGrom should be okay. And I have a take for the Met fans that listen to this show. You look at the career of Tom Seaver, and he's one of the best pitchers in the history of the game. But Tom Seaver didn't play his whole career with the Mets because they were dumb enough to trade him. If deGrom plays his whole career with the Mets, wins another Cy Young Award this year, which would give him 3, maybe win the MVP as well. Could I argue that when it's all said and done, if deGrom plays his whole career with the Mets, he's the best pitcher in the history of the organization? I know Seaver's probably going to have more wins because it's a different era, and the Mets also usually never score any runs for deGrom. But you look at the career numbers for both, and it's a different era, so it's tough to gauge. But just sheer dominance, and I'm not old enough to have watched Seaver. I know he was spectacular. But you could argue if deGrom stays at this pace of what he's accomplished the last couple of years, he keeps getting better, which is just insane. Since Seaver didn't play his whole career with the Mets, could deGrom actually be the best pitcher in that team's franchise history? Kevin, it looks like you're going through the numbers here. Am I right? Give me your initial thoughts on that take.
Well, I also, even though I am considerably older than you, I am not old enough to have seen Tom Seaver pitch either, as he was retired by the time I was born. But I see here that he did only play for what appears to be, 8-9 seasons with the Mets.
And he finished his career with the team when they brought him back. But the problem was they made this idiotic trade, sending him to Cincinnati at the age of 33. Like, deGrom's 31 right now. Imagine if Seaver was able to continue to pitch. I mean, Seaver pitched till he was 41. He went back to the Mets and then ended his career with the White Sox and briefly with Boston. He wasn't the same at that point. But, Tom Seaver won 1, 2, 3 career Cy Young Awards. deGrom is on his way to winning his 3rd. Tom Seaver, 3-time Cy Young Award winner, Rookie of the Year, 12-time All-Star, 3-time ERA title. One of the best right-handed pitchers ever. I'm just saying, if you continue to look at the projected numbers for deGrom and what he's already accomplished, 2-time Cy Young Award winner, Rookie of the Year, 3-time All-Star, he's won an ERA title. Seaver won 3 of those. It's not crazy that deGrom And by the way, deGrom's 33. I was wrong about his age. It's not crazy to think deGrom has an argument to be considered the best pitcher in Mets history.
I mean, if they win a World Series and he continues to do what he does, I don't think many Mets fans will disagree.
Now, Seaver has the 69 Mets ring on his finger, so deGrom would have to win. You're right. That's a big.
That's the only thing he hasn't done. I mean, he's been in a World Series. Unfortunately, they were defeated that season by those pesky Royals. But yeah, I mean, listen, I can't remember any pitcher on the run that deGrom has been on, not just this year, but you look at what he's done the past, 3-4 years, and he's just getting better and better, which doesn't even, and we're not even talking about what he can do at the plate, for crying out loud. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's like an alien.
It's insane. 2018 wins his first Cy Young Award. 1.70 ERA. Only won 10 games. 10-9 that year. Criminal. Then you follow that up in 2019. Back-to-back Cy Young Award winner. 11-8. 2.43 ERA. His earned run jumped up a full run, and he still won the Cy Young Award. Then last year, obviously 60-game season, came in third in Cy Young voting. He was 4-2, 2.38 ERA. This year, 6-2, and his ERA in 10 starts is now 0.56. He has the lowest earned run average through 10 starts since earned run became an official stat. If that doesn't tell you about the dominance of Jacob deGrom, I'm not quite sure what will. He's incredible, and I think right now he has a compelling case to be both the MVP and the Cy Young in the National League. He's been that good. To the NBA we go. Let's talk Sixers and Hawks. Joel Embiid put on a show last night, his team, with the dominant win, and this was Mr. Embiid laying it down with the hammer to put the Sixers up in this game.
Okongwu is blocked by Embiid, and Shake Milton has the ball. Boy, Gallinari should have shot it. Embiid, an emphatic rejection. 1:20 to go. Sixers by 16, maybe more. Korkmaz, corner three, shot up, rim enough, no. Joel, an offensive rebound, and a slam dunk. He got right by the rookie, and Joel Embiid with the offensive rebound and a jam.
And the jam. It kind of sounds like the Sixers radio guy there has a little Dick Vitale in him, Kevin.
It sounds like he's got a little dick in him.
Got a little Dicky B.
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch that. Yeah, baby. Anyhow, this was Mr. Embiid on the weapons that his team, the Sixers, have.
We got so many weapons. You don't know who's going to get hot one night. You got the other night was Shaq, tonight is Ferg. But I just hope that we all put it together. Tonight was one of those games where I just felt like, everybody that got on the court did a job. Dwight was great, coming in, creating second chances. Tobias was amazing tonight, too.
Tobias Harris. Look, if Embiid stays healthy, I don't see Atlanta winning that series. I think it's as simple as that. Now, can the Sixers beat Brooklyn? That's a debate that I'm sure we'll have a lot. I don't know if they can, if Harden plays. If Harden doesn't play and Embiid dominates, I think they could. But I'm kind of riding the fence there. I don't think any team's beating Brooklyn. I've said that. But I think if any team could beat Brooklyn, what the Sixers do with Embiid down low is a matchup advantage they would have over a Nets team that doesn't have the best front court in the world. So should be a good series. Let's see if the Sixers do get by Atlanta. I expect them to. And then obviously, I've already said it. If you're just tuning in, I think the Nets dismantle Milwaukee tomorrow and win the series in 5 back home in Brooklyn. So we shall see. But it was an impressive win by Philly. The crowd's up for grabs in Atlanta early on. And Kevin, Philly came out early in this one and really set the tone. And you never got the sense that Atlanta was going to get back in the game.
No, I just think that, it's, I don't want to say it's an unfair matchup because that's not really the right term, but it's just Philly they're in their championship window. Like, this is their time right now. If they're going to win a title, it's going to be within the next, 2-3 years. Whereas Atlanta, or as good and young and talented as they are, they're just not quite ready to compete at that level, with Philadelphia, with Brooklyn. So I think, give it a couple years and, watch them bounce the Knicks out maybe in the playoffs a couple more times for the next couple seasons.
Watch your tongue.
But Atlanta's going to be there. It's just they're not ready yet, and they will be, like I said. But Philly's just, they're ready. If Philly's going to do it, they're going to do it now or next year or whatever.
Philly, this is their time. I mean, how long have we been hearing about the process?
This is it. This is what all the losing and the bad draft picks and the good draft picks, some good, some bad. Shout out Markelle Fultz. But this is it. This
Julio Okafor.
Exactly. Chicago's very own Ja Okafor. But raise your hand if you knew who Shake Milton was before this season, because I certainly did not.
I was familiar with his work only because he had like a good game in the bubble last year.
Okay.
That's about it. Yeah, Shake Milton, man. It really bailed them out of game 2, huh? Played great. Anyhow, we'll see what happens the rest of that series. I picked the Sixers. I believe in 5 going in, and who knows? They win game 4 and then close it out in 5. Well, Jake Asman would be right, which would be nice because a lot of times Jake Asman is wrong. Very wrong. Tennessee Titans wide receiver Julio Jones spoke to the media for the first time since being traded from Atlanta to Tennessee. And Jones says that wide receiver A.J. Brown was trying to give him the number 11, the same number that Julio Jones had worn his entire tenure with the Falcons. But this was Julio Jones on why he didn't want to take A.J. Brown's number.
Me and AJ and T. Hill was pretty much at dinner just talking, and then I'm just like, he tried to give me the 11, and I was like, bro, I don't want it. It's your number, So I was like, I'm just gonna go with the 2.
Well, simple as that. He's gonna go with 2. Julio Jones wearing the number 2. Do we like it, Kevin, or do we wish you would still stay with his patented number 11?
I don't like it. I love it.
You love it.
I love it.
You feel that strongly about this.
And I don't particularly like the Titans. I don't really feel any sort of way about the Titans.
The Titans are kind of always just there.
They just are. Right. They exist.
They don't have they don't have big national appeal. It's not like they have a lot of like celebrity fans that are kind of in the news cycle.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Vrabel, he's cool, whatever.
He'd chop off his willy for a Super Bowl. You got to respect the passion.
But I love, obviously, the acquisition of Julio Jones. We don't have to give a first-round pick. You get Julio Jones to pair there. Slide into that offense beautifully. And the single-digit number for the wideout, give it to me all day long.
You love the single-digit number.
Absolutely love it. I would never buy a Titans jersey or really any NFL jersey, even Justin Fields. I think it's
what number is Fields wearing with the Bears? 1.
Number 1. Yeah, numero uno. I love that as well.
I saw, by the way, your guy Justin Fields was at the Cubs game yesterday. Got a nice hand for the Cubs faithful.
Yeah, and listen, Sox are on the road, so maybe he couldn't go to the Sox game.
I get it, but don't you like the fact that Chicago has one football team? It's like Cubs, White Sox, there's a divide. Everyone in Chicago, though, is a Bears fan. Everyone in Chicago is a Bulls fan.
Yeah. I although part of it makes me feel dirty because you are siding with a lot of Cubs fans when you're rooting for the Bears, because it's a mix. So
and the Blackhawks, can't forget about them.
You can forget about that.
Whoa. They won out 3 cups for that city.
That's right.
And you can forget about them.
I don't give a damn about the Blackhawks.
Yeah, the fact that you don't like hockey and you're in a city like Chicago that loves the Blackhawks.
I'm not in the Chicago anymore.
Well, I'm
a Houstonian now.
Yep, we don't have a hockey team here.
Thank God.
No, I would love if we had a hockey team here. I would be. That would set me apart in this market because I'd be the only one that could actually talk about hockey. Because no one cares about hockey in Houston. It's unfortunate.
That's the thing I love about Houston. Actually,
get out, leave. Patriots rookie quarterback. Staying with the rookie quarterback conversation, Mac Jones. He spoke to the media and he was asked how he's learning to be a professional since he, was drafted 15th overall by Bill Belichick in New England.
Really just like an everyday grind. So when you got to come in and get your routine, and that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out is what's my routine. In college you have one routine, in the NFL you have another. So every day you kind of fiddle with things, and then obviously there's things that I like that I've done and things I need to adjust. So every day just stick to my routine and try and watch X amount of film and get my rehab and work out hard and be a good teammate and learn how to be a good Patriot.
Does Mac Jones sound like the most boring player ever?
Now you know why Belichick loves him.
Oh, I mean, you can see why Belichick couldn't wait to draft him 15th overall. My God. Belichick said that Cam Newton is coming along. Remember, Cam had to leave an OTA practice about a week and a half ago, and Mac Jones and Jarrett Stidham and Brian Hoyer have been getting all these reps. Mac Jones also is wearing the number 50. They refuse to give him a number just yet. I will say, a quarterback that wears the number 50, that is the ugliest looking thing I have ever seen. Certain numbers can enhance a guy's swagger on the field, and certain numbers can ruin a guy's swagger on the field. Kevin, what I'd like you to do is Google Mac Jones number 50 and watch him in some photos, and then give me your instant reaction to the lack of swagger Mac Jones has in these pictures of him at training camp, OTAs.
Yeah, I don't know about the swagger aspect of it, but there's something unsettling about seeing him wear that jersey. It's like he's not even like a real member of the team. You know what I mean? He's first round pick. Like, let's put a little respect on this man. You know, I'm not the biggest Mac Jones guy, but let's give him a proper jersey. Can we do that at least?
Belichick refuses to do it. You got to earn your jersey number.
Such a bag.
Well, from one Super Bowl winning head coach to now another Tampa Bay head coach, Bruce Arians spoke to the media on the final day of mandatory minicamp, and he was asked if he needs to bring in a vaccine expert. And listen to this great response by Bruce Arians when asked, as I mentioned, if, Tampa wants to bring in a vaccine expert like a lot of teams have done to encourage their players to get the vaccine. Here's Arians.
No, I'm the specialist.
Just like for the mask. You wear so many different
Yeah, very, a bunch of hats.
What was your message in that thing?
Well, if you want to go back to normal, get vaccinated.
Simple enough. You don't need an expert. He's the expert. You think Tom Brady's getting the vaccine? Is that part of the TB12 COVID program?
I think, isn't he vaxxed? I think maybe I'm making this up. Maybe it was a dream I had, but I thought I read or heard something about Brady.
Brady
having
did not care about COVID at all this year. He would never wear the mask ever. It was like he was like against. Look, I don't really care one way or another. I've been over COVID for months. Sorry, I've been fully vaxxed for a while now, so I really don't care. But I'm all for whatever people want to do. Make your own choices. But why, if you're an NFL player and you have all these stringent rules for people that aren't vaccinated, why wouldn't you want to just get the vaccine and just be able to live your life again normally?
I just can't wrap my head around it at all. The people that are against it, or I don't know what there's no logic to it really whatsoever.
They think you're going to have superpowers if you get it. I don't know.
Anthony,
make your choice. You're a free country. I'm all about it, but I don't understand why you wouldn't want it.
That's what I can't imagine any logical reason why you wouldn't get it.
The more and more health and scientist experts that you speak to, it is overwhelmingly safer. The data backs it up. Numbers going down. And if you're an athlete where your body is your temple, why wouldn't you want to prevent yourself from getting something that could, cause lung damage? And Jason Tatum came back from COVID. He was affected even when healthy for a while. Said he had trouble breathing. If you could avoid all that, why wouldn't you want to get it? Phil Nevin, the Yankees third base coach, was fully vaccinated and then still got COVID. But because he had the vaccine, it was far worse.
Yeah.
And he said afterwards, I encourage everyone to get it because I had it, got COVID anyway, but it was far less severe than it could have been, all the medical people told me.
Yeah, because when you get vaccinated, it's not 100%, you're never going to get COVID ever again. The purpose of the vaccination is to, if you do get it, that small little, 5 or 6% chance, if you do get it after getting vaccinated, it is far less likely to affect you in a negative way, go to the hospital or have trouble breathing, anything like that. So again, it's one of those things I will never understand how anybody could be, I'm going to wait to see more information. I'm going to talk it over with my family. It's like the people that say they're waiting for more information, they will never be pleased with the information because there's plenty of information.
Well, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Sam Darnold being I'm still evaluating.
Sam Darnold, Anthony Rizzo, it was a minor story in Chicago yesterday. He's against it for whatever reason. It's just so stupid to me.
People can make their own choices. I don't know why if you're an athlete you wouldn't want it. It will make your life a lot easier.
Yeah, you have the right to not get it, and I have the right to call those people morons. So that's kind of the name of the game.
There you go. That wraps it up for Quick Hits here on the Jake Asman Show. Coming up next, college football expansion from 4 to 12. Good idea? Bad idea? We weigh those options next here on the Jake Asman Show.